Happy Hanukkah, everyone! Now this week's recipe is going to be how to make yourself some latkes. Yes, and if you don't know what they are traditional Jewish potato cake that they have on Hanukkah, and they're so delicious and so simple. I just had to show you how to make these. So I have got some peeled russet potatoes in a bowl, and they're really good because they actually contain like a high content of starch, which is very important for these. A bit of white onion that I've got, which I've really finely sliced actually. I've got this already. You can shred this if you want to, but I've finely sliced it. I've got egg, a bit of salt and pepper, some matzo meal, which I just had to borrow from a neighbour because I didn't have any. And that is it. So we're going to start basically by grating your potatoes. Now if you have a food processor, then if I had one, I'd probably be doing it in a food processor, but I don't, so I'm doing it the old school way. I'm literally just going to start grating all these potatoes. So give it a welly, mind your fingers, just grate away, people. And actually doing it like this means that it's actually very, very fine. Now once you've finished grating your potatoes, put it all into a bowl, and yes, if you're doing it by hand, be careful, because I just grated myself. Oh, goodness me. Anyway, yes, probably food processor might be easier. Right, I'm going to put this all into a large mixing bowl. And now we need to squeeze out some of that water. So in there's quite a lot of water, and you have to work quickly with potatoes because they do discolour very, very quickly. So if you want to stop it, you can add a tiny bit of lemon juice, but not too much because it's going to have too much of a citric flavour to it. Because I'm just now going to use this hand and just squeeze out, push down, squeeze out as much of the water as I can. And we're going to tip this away into the sink. But I'd heard from my friend and her grandma that said actually keep a little bit of the juice in because all the starch is in there, and the starch is what makes it go creamy. So I'm going to get out like as much as I can. I'm doing a half, literally squeezing out as much as I can. And I'm going to just do, I'm not going to wring it, I'm not going to put it in a muslin cloth, I'm just going to do that. So crack one egg, a half a teaspoon of salt, my matzo meal. If you don't have this, you could use maybe a tablespoon of flour, pepper, and I've got some finely chopped onion. So I'm going to put, this is white onion, there we go, and I'm also going to use a little bit of leek as well. So I've got a finely chopped leek here. You don't have to use any leek if you don't want to, but I like it. Now with your hands, just get in there, mix all these together. So I just want to show you something. So after I've put the salt and everything else in, as you can see, it actually draws out more of the water from the potato. So again, I'm just going to drain off this excess bit because that's like too much. Now we can start cooking them. So I've got my frying pan on. Actually, we need it to be on maybe like a medium heat. And I'm just using some plain, this is sunflower seed oil, but you can use canola oil. You don't have to use olive oil for this because you actually want it to get to a really nice high temperature. You want them to be, the goal with these is to be crispy on the outside and soft and creamy on the middle. And I am using quite a bit of oil because you just can't kind of like cheat that bit. You know, it's not going to work properly. So there is probably about a quarter of an inch, about that much in the pan. So it's like you're shallow frying them, okay? So a little bit of oil covering the pan. Make sure that your temperature of the oil does get to the right temperature. It needs to be hot, basically, before you put them in. Otherwise, they're just gonna kind of go soggy and greasy, and they won't crisp up in time. So you can test it by either just popping a little bit in. If it sizzles up quickly like that, then that is fine. I'm gonna get a spoonful of my mixture. Not too big, not too small. And just pop it in. Another tip is don't overcrowd your pan. I'm going to only do 3 in here, and you don't want them too high either, so make sure that they kind of pat them down a little bit. Now all we're going to do is wait for them to turn golden on one side, and then we're just going to flip them, okay? If they're too high, then basically the potato won't cook through enough in time. So leave them to cook for a few minutes each side until they're lovely and crispy on the outside and cooked through. Once they're lovely and golden, like so, pop them onto a plate with some kitchen towel on so that it kind of drains any excess oil. And then keep on making the rest of them, making sure none of your guests pinch all these while you're cooking them, because that happens a lot. And I'm going to serve these with some apple sauce. I actually just made some. Apple sauce, dollop of, and the sour cream on top as well. That is your latke. I hope you all really enjoy making this recipe. Please leave me your comments. I love hearing from you guys. And if you haven't hit subscribe, I do new recipes every single Wednesday. So come join me for more cooking fun every week. Excuse me, losing my voice. And now I shall have a taste of my lovely latke. Oh, this looks good. Mazel tov. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. These things are amazing.